What's up, YouTube? What's up, Husker Nation? This is Real Men Wear Kills TV, College Football Edition. This is Patrick Joy. Let's talk about this game. We're talking Nebraska versus Colorado. I predicted Nebraska would win. One of my predictions was close. If it turned into a defensive battle. But how I thought the game was going to play out is not how it played out. I have mixed feelings about this game. Like, one, as a fan, I am ecstatic we won. Big improvement over last year. We got a revenge against Colorado. Beating them 28-10. At the same time, it's really a tale of two halves. The first half, I loved it. I was ready to fill a swimming pool full of the Kool-Aid and just dive on in after that first half. Second half was a bit of a nail biter. I mean, I have to say, it was a bit of a nail biter, and there were a lot of things that happened in there. Let's do a quick overview of some of the stats from this game. I got it pulled up on cbssports.com here. At the end of two quarters, we were leading 28-0. And then we had a scoreless second half. Looking at the stats here, with Colorado scoring 10 points in the second half. It was clear into the fourth quarter before they got their first touchdown. They did get points on the board in the third quarter with a field goal. Nebraska had 244. Hold on. All right. Colorado had 244 passing yards. Nebraska had 185 for the game. Colorado had 16 rushing yards. Nebraska had 149. Colorado had a total of 260 yards of offense. Nebraska had a total of 334. So some significant differences there. Nebraska definitely appears to be the more rounded team on offense. Yet again. Let's see. Raiola completed 23 out of 30 passes for a total of 185 yards with one touchdown pass. Shedeur Sanders, he threw 23 completions out of 38 attempts with 244 yards of passing yardage, with one one pass for a touchdown and one interception. That happened to be a pick six for Nebraska. You start breaking down some of the stuff, and it's no wonder Nebraska won. But one of the biggest things that really helped Colorado in the second half and hurt Nebraska in the second half was penalties. We dealt with this last year. The big difference between last year and this year, the big improvement there is we won despite the penalties. Last year, the penalties are what led to a lot of our losses last year, and in recent years in general. So Nebraska is showing a vast improvement there in that fact. Let's break it down as far as, there were a ton of penalties in the game. A surprising number of targeting calls as well. So looking at the first quarter, Nebraska's first drive was for a touchdown. There was a player on Colorado's side that should have been called for targeting. It was obvious, but they decided it wasn't targeting. How they decided that, I have no idea. Like it was blatant and obvious. Um, yeah, that makes no sense to me at all. If you're watching the game, you probably agree with me 100% there. Um, Raiola looked great in the first quarter. Um, Colorado had a massive return that just, I literally wrote on here, massive return WTF Nebraska, because it was like that, it shouldn't have happened. Like there were multiple points where like our guys should have took this guy down and didn't happen. Um, Defense was rocking tonight. If there's a hero of the game for Nebraska, it is our defense. Like, wow, they did amazing tonight. In fact, on the first quarter, I wrote down defense, hell yeah. um, they had a 4-down stop. That was right at the, literally right up close to the goal line. Tommy Hill had a pick six. Like I said, defense was just rocking in the first quarter. Going into the second quarter, we were just running. Like, we had some great run plays, did great. We had a long bomb that almost resulted in a touchdown. Guys within scoring range, and was followed up by an old school Nebraska touchdown. Just jumping, having a running back jump over the top of the pile. I mean, and the O line. I mean, the O line in this game was doing pretty damn good too. I mean, you have to admit the O line was doing great for most of this game. And you look at the defense. Defense was doing great too. I mean, they were getting great penetration into the backfield against Colorado. I think there was like total like 5 sacks. Like, I mean, you can't make this up. Let me double check that there. I don't have any defensive stats on. I don't have any defensive stats on here, but like I said, I think there was like 5 sacks, which was pretty awesome. Quarter two for Colorado, the defense was playing a little dirty. They're Colorado was kind of playing a little dirty most of the game. Their offense was definitely continuing to struggle in the second quarter, and towards the end of it, they started moving the ball a little bit. At least it seemed like they were. But yeah, that's. Hold on, I got some more here. We did have a lucky touchdown. And that was the one where, like, the ball got tipped right at the point where it was going to be received. It kind of tumbled through the air, and our receiver just managed to be able to get a hold of it. I mean, and run it into the end zone. Like that was pretty awesome. There was no targeting call against Colorado. They did a 50-yard field goal attempt to try and get on the board that failed. And then towards the end, we had a squib kick. And all I can think is, why do we do a squib kick on Nebraska? Why did Nebraska do a squib kick in that situation? Like, it just, I don't know, it doesn't make sense to me, but hey, is what it is. At halftime, we were leading 28-0, and I had question mark right after. I wrote question mark, a bunch of question marks after that because I didn't see that happen. Like I really didn't see that happen when I was looking at this game and doing my predictions and whatnot, and trying to figure out what would happen. Like I don't think anybody could have predicted that 28-0. I mean, it's unheard of. And then, we had halftime. Third quarter starts. Defense still looked great for Nebraska. Third quarter was definitely a defensive battle. They held Colorado to a field goal. The offense was starting to roll a little bit towards the end of the third quarter, but I don't know, it just kind of fizzled. Colorado's offense was definitely looking good, but like I said, they did get held to a field goal once there when they got pretty deep into the red zone. Of course, we had some penalties in there as well on both sides of the ball. Quarter four, fourth quarter, number 42, he got kicked out for targeting. I disagree with the call. It didn't look like targeting to me. It looked more like momentum carried him into the defensive ball carrier. Um, you know, that's a questionable call. And there was a few questionable calls. I wrote damn penalties because at this point penalties were just killing us. They were, I mean, we had some big gains and there was a penalty, so bring it all the way back and then some. Our defense did recover a fumble, which was pretty awesome. This is also the fourth quarter is also when Colorado scored its one and only touchdown of the game. Sanders went out with it. Shedeur Sanders went out with an injury, and Staub came in for Colorado. And honestly, I don't know if it's just me, but it seemed like Staub was, showing signs that he could be a little bit better than he could possibly be a little bit better than Shedeur Sanders. Which kind of raises the question: is Shedeur Sanders really the best quarterback for Colorado? Or is this a case of a little bit of nepotism coming from Deion Sanders? Final score was 28-10. Again, a ton of penalties. A big win for Nebraska. Nonetheless, Nebraska was, for the most part, in control of the game most of the game, almost all of the game. Definitely definitely opened up and showed some cracks in Nebraska's offense. That Nebraska's going to have to address. Matt Rule's going to have to address these things. At the end of the day, a W is a W, but second half was awful ugly. A little bit worrisome. As a fan, I'm like, woohoo, we won. Awesome, yes. But, from a more neutral analyst point of view, not sure about this. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. I am looking at a article here on the CBS Sports page for the game, and it says Nebraska rides dominating defensive performance to 28-10 win over old rival Colorado. Yeah, it was a dominating performance by our defense. Like, our defense are definitely the heroes of this game. You can't win football games without good defense. I'm really interested to see how the rest of the season goes. Like, I'm still like, yes, we won, despite, stupid penalties. But at the same time, I'm like, we won. You know what I mean? So I think as Husker fans, I think we really need to be happy that our team won. I think we need to be proud that our team won. I think there's some issues that need to be addressed that were highlighted in this game that I'm sure Matt Rule and the rest of the coaching staff are going to address with the players and find solutions for. Nebraska is showing a massive amount of improvement over last year. I'm really curious to see how this team does the rest of the season and how some of my predictions pan out and whatnot. But as a Nebraska fan, I'm woohoo, we won. Like, I'm ecstatic that we won. I am 100%. Like, this is awesome. we won. But like I said, there is some room for improvement. And I think, Matt Rule will probably, and the rest of the coaching staff will probably address that stuff this week in practice. Next week we have Northern Iowa, another which should be an easy game, but don't take that for granted. Look at what happened to Notre Dame today. They lost a close game that they should have easily won. Do I think Nebraska's going to move into the top 25 after this week? Yeah, I think we'll move up a little bit. I don't see us breaking into the top 25 just yet, though I do believe that by the end of the season that we will be in the top 25, possibly in the top 12, which would mean a playoff bid. But there's a lot of football left to play this season, and I look forward to watching it. I look forward to rooting on the Huskers. I look forward to seeing how we do this season. I definitely still think we're going to make a bowl game this season. We're starting out 2-0, which is a big improvement. And I think that's going to continue. Like I said, we got another, we got a pretty easy, we should have what should be a pretty easy game next week, though it could be a trap game. Yeah, I'm still pretty positive about this season, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the Huskers do and how far they'll go. I'm still standing by my preseason predictions. We'll see if those pan out. And I'm really beginning to believe that Deion Sanders is Colorado's Scott Frost. There's a lot of things that he needs to work on to prove people like me wrong as far as that goes. But Matt Rule's been doing some good work for Nebraska. And I'd love to see where he takes the team from here. And yeah, that's about it. As always, go Big Red. If you like this content, you want to, make sure you see more videos like this. Be sure to, hit the like button. Be sure to hit the subscribe button. Doesn't cost you a dime. Leave some comments below. It helps, with some of the analytics for the channel, and helps get me seen by more people. Be sure to share the video, and I will probably be posting another video this Friday, giving my pre-game predictions for the Northern Iowa game. As always, go Big Red.